Hey, it's Nicole with Lavatica's Closet. I was just going to talk about today um, having your business be a real business when you're reselling, when you're moving away from just doing it, casually, and you're like, oh, I might actually start making over 600 or whatever, or you just started your business. So I did that back in July, and now I doing my taxes, and I see it was really great to spend money, which is so fun. If you have it to spend. But so every month, this was kind of my strategy. Every month I spent money. The first few months, of course, you're spending money because you're starting business. Like, I had an IT person help me figure out my own website and coach me. So that had a certain price. So that month I didn't make any money. I lost money. And it's by quarter, right? When you file it with the state, when you're not a sole proprietor, if you're an LLC, it's quarterly. So basically, the name of the game is, by the end of each quarter, you want to try, especially in your first few years of business, to spend as much as you were going to have to pay. Like, if you made a profit, make sure you don't make a profit. I hope I'm not getting in trouble for saying this, but because you need your equipment, right? You're just getting started, so you're going to need to get a Rollo printer. You're going to need to get a laptop. You're going to need to get a cell phone. You might need an IT guy. You might need shelving. You might need plastic bags. You're going to need stickers and mailing things and all different kinds of things, right? And you can start to think about writing off your cell phone. You can get a cell phone for your business, or you can write off a portion of yours. You can write off a portion of your home if you use it in your home. If you get a storage unit, you can write off the storage unit. So I think that in business, people are always like, oh, I want to make a profit. But you are making a profit even if you don't make a profit, because you've got all that equipment for your business and you avoided paying taxes on your gain, which is great. So at the end of the year, now you've got shelves, now you've got a website, now you've got all those things, and you advertise. People spend money on advertising. So the name of the game isn't just to pocket a bunch of money into your account. You actually want to re-spend it because you don't want to pay taxes. Now, getting into a larger growth strategy, I'm still working on all of that. I'm pretty new to this, but I do know that you want to write off as much as you can. And I talked about, I think I talked about in one of my other videos, or maybe it was to a friend that does this, that when I make a trip, so for example, I plan my sourcing trips around either if I have to go to the post office or around my life. So if I'm going to go, if I live in Tacoma, and if I want to go into Seattle to go out to dinner with my friends, that's a long drive. That's like an hour drive, and it's a lot of gas, and especially with the price of gas now, right? But if I stop and I source at like the Seattle Goodwill and maybe one other place, and then I go out to dinner, guess what? I get to write off the gas for driving to the Goodwill. I get the gas and the mileage, which I think is 57 cents per gallon. So you can see, even if I quote unquote didn't make a profit, I have been able to get my gas paid for going and buying stuff. And same for if you need to go to Home Depot and buy shelves. Well, if you want to go shop personally at, Hobby Lobby or something like that, and Home Depot's right next to Hobby Lobby, then you go to Home Depot the same time you're going for your personal stuff to Hobby Lobby, and now your gas is written off, right? So, and same with your space. You get a write-off if you have a desk, or what, in a certain room, you can write off a certain portion of that for rent. So anyway, the point is that you want to be like, thinking like the rich people think. And that means you want to start thinking about writing everything up. The other day I went somewhere and I was like, oh, I didn't stop and get a receipt. Shoot, I don't think I can write this up. And I was like laughing, like I wasn't ever thinking like this before. And now I'm just like pure business. I did this to myself. That's so funny. I'm watching myself do the video and I'm like, oh, I did a little crazy. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting crazy for business. Why we meant to do this. Anyway, just start thinking about how you can maximize that, and writing things off, and oh, paying yourself. I didn't pay myself. I didn't even make money and I didn't pay myself. So this year I'm going to start paying myself to do stuff. So that's what I wanted to talk about, including how much you pay yourself for things in the price of things, right? You have to pay someone. You're not going to be able to work for yourself for free forever, and you might have to pay someone else to do it. So, for example, if I have to steam a garment or I have to clean a garment, I am getting out of clothes, but I still have, I want to say like probably 6 crates of clothes. And I'm not going to pass up something good. If I go to the thrift, like I found a Karen Walker dress for like $4 today at Value Village. I'm not going to pass it up, but I'm going to be a lot more selective if I do buy clothes. But the point is if you have to pay yourself to clean it. So when I'm going to steam this dress, then that's going to take some time. So what I'm doing is I'm averaging everything out for some things, like a wool coat. If I clean that, which I can make a video on how to do that, because I actually clean stuff myself that other people would send to the dry cleaner. So I can do a little video revealing some secrets in a different video, but I'm going to cost average everything out that it's going to cost me $2. $2 for a pair of shoes, to steam something, to do a coat, to just put a shirt in the wash, whatever. That puts in the price, because that accounts for if I have to polish the shoes, because I had to buy polish for that. And you get to write all that off too. You just need to keep receipts and print it off if you buy it on Amazon or whatever. And the other thing is, the first year, hey, I do what everyone does and I'm being a mess and I included it with my personal. No, I got to get everything separated on the same business card so that my accountant isn't going like, I'm not going to be driving people nuts. So, and I'll do another video about opening a business account and all of that and where you can do that. Anyway, back to, I'm like thinking, how am I going to account for my cleaning stuff? So now I decided $2 per item. You can come up with whatever you want, but that's how much I think I should get for cleaning each thing. And that's just cleaning it. I didn't even pay myself to source it. So I'm going to have to think about what wage am I going to start paying myself to actually go to the thrift store and source on top of the gas and everything. And then what wage am I going to pay myself to list the items? Because that starts really telling on itself if your business is actually going to be profitable, right? And part of the reason I don't want to do measurements is I figure each item of clothing is going to take at least 1 minute. Because, for example, if you do pants, you have to do the inseam, you do the rise, you do the waist, and sometimes you do the hips, and sometimes you might do the outside length, or someone might ask you for the if it's a boot cut or whatever. Anyway, there's at least 4 measurements, and that all takes time. And you know, you have to have your light set up for the measurements and all this stuff, and you have to have the measuring tape out. But anyway, I was figuring at least 1 minute to measure everything. So every item now has a $2 cleaning fee and at least 1 minute if I measure it. And then the photographs, to take the photographs, that's 1 to 2 minutes, right? So see how we start accounting for everything. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm always like, whoa, whatever, this way, that way. And I love shopping, and I was all over the place on everything I was buying. I'm like, oh, it's pretty, I want to buy it just because I want to buy it, like, and so I have a lot of stuff like that. But, now I'm like, okay, I got to get more in my business mind. I got to focus on the things that have sold for the most and the quickest. I got to think about all of the components about what I'm doing. How much does it cost to wash it? How much does it cost me to source it? Do I pay myself for that? How long should it take to photograph each item? How long does it take to to do the measurements? Does an item that's under $20 deserve measurements? So anyway, that was a lot. Well, hopefully hopefully you'll stick around and come watch some more of my videos and maybe share. So anyway, I thought I would give all that info and keep an eye out, because I'm gonna start doing I'm gonna start posting a lot of handbags and designer purses and shoes. And anyway, talk to you later.